if we look at everything. But before we go, maybe just mention that you're already having to have a survey on openslava.sk. So if you're like, how would I want to give my opinion and improve OpenSlava and let us know what I think and what's the good stuff and what's the improvements, so we can take that along for hopefully the physical one in 2022. You can already do that. Of course, stick with us for the last speaker, but you can already do that on openslava.sk. That being said, if we look at everything that we discussed in these 3 days, it's a lot about technology, about AI. We just saw robo ants. I didn't even know they existed. So much being developed, innovated. We're talking about the metaverse, which Mary mentioned, and the last speaker ties it all together and basically is asking the question, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but asking the question, what will happen if all that tech and AI takes over the world? Well, maybe not that extreme, but his title is The World Where AI Takes Us, and basically looking at what will it mean for us, what role can we play as human beings, and who better to close this third day of OpenSlava and talk to us about that than Allan Weber. Allan Weber is the AI lead plus machine learning practitioner at Accenture, and he's going to take us into the wonderful world of AI that hopefully still has human beings in it. Allan Weber, I'm looking at you backstage like I do with every speaker. You look ready. You have a beautiful background. So I would say enjoy, and closing off this OpenSlava third day, let's talk about AI.
Thank you very much. Hello, I hope you hear me loud and clear. And
it's perfect.
Is it good? Okay. And I am aware this is the last presentation in this quite exhausting row of presentations. You must be really exhausted from all the interesting things you learned throughout the day from my colleagues. Just bear with me another 30 minutes and you are really done here. And I will promise I will not really, this presentation will be really relaxing for you. We'll be talking about our future. It will be a bit of a philosophical presentation. And I'm trying to think about how our future will look like. So let's go to the future where the AI takes us. And let me present my screen. That would be a good idea. So my name is, as it was said, my name is Allan Weber. I'm the AI and data science lead at Bratislava Accenture. Before we really jump into the future, we need to go back to the past. So I prepared some key milestones, which are, in my opinion, took us where we are at the moment. I was really lucky in my life. I was really be able to witness all these changes which were going on throughout the so-called tech revolution. Yeah, which started somewhere in the 80s. And it's not finished now, but we can say we are now in maybe data revolution, but still the tech revolution, this is something really big. And I want to name those big milestones here. So the first milestone to me were personal computers. I remember very well when I got one. When I got one, my father bought me Commodore 64. I really didn't know what to do with it. For me, it was black box. It only knew the basic, nothing else. I was able to download one game and that was it. So I sold it eventually. And that's how my career in the in the computer science began. And how for me, the personal computers came to the play. In around 1984, personal computers completely really starting to change the way how we work today. I hope you agree. The next milestone, which really changed the way how we communicate today, were the mobile phones. This was amazing thing. We really were able to connect with anyone in a minute, to reach out to our friends, to our relatives. And this is, I hope you agree, a big game changer, which really changed the way how we communicate. Then very shortly after, a big phenomenon came to the play, and that was internet. Internet came very short after mobile phones came, and there were several players, and we know how it ended. The biggest probably tech company currently in the world, Google, took over and started to compete with the companies like Yahoo, Alta Vista, and now where these guys are, yeah, we know Google, and this was the race of tech giant, and this really revolutionized the way how we obtain and search for information these days. It was kind of the gap when the internet emerged or developed itself, and we were able to somehow to process all these things. Then the next one came, the social networks. It was also very interesting phenomena, and it is still, of course. It brought a lot of good things. We know what our friends or family members do like or dislike. We consume news. But it also brought a lot of very specific things like fake news or simply the communication. It democratized the way how we consume the information and how we share the information between our close ones or even with the strangers. This all blended together led to another big milestone, which were smartphones. The smartphones really somehow combine personal computers, mobile phone technology, internet power, and networks, and really they've changed the way how we consume the information, how we interact with the outside world, how we interact with the complex technologies. Simply everything is within the reach of our fingers, and that's amazing. And this was, of course, not the end of technical revolution, at least for me. Somewhere around 2011, there came a technology which after long winter came again to the scene, and this is called artificial intelligence. It was coined somewhere by Alan Turing in 50s, 60s last century, but it really had to wait until all these processing technologies came to the scene. And not only those, but there were some others which helped to develop this very big game changer for our present and also for our future. And these technologies were machine learning, deep learning, cloud computing, big data, data streaming. It all blended together. It really created a huge phenomena, which I'm going to talk about next. I'm pretty sure that you hardly can name any industry which is or was not impacted by artificial intelligence yet. It's from the retail, medicine, telco, media, logistic, marketing, agriculture, military, defense. I think there is no industry which was not impacted yet. And if you know about any which was not impacted, just put it in the chat. I can start focusing on it from tomorrow on. It would be really interesting. So all these things, you probably know the recommenders which are used in either retail, in e-commerce, or in telco, or in media, in streaming media. You know the anomaly detectors or predictive maintenance models which are used in production or in the utilities. You know the smart diagnosing or illness prediction systems which are used in healthcare. You know the face and object recognition, that's so computer vision, which is used in many industries, many activities which we are doing during the day or on a regular basis. Artificial intelligence is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. It's used in translation. It's helping us, and really, it's making our lives easier, is making our lives maybe happier. They are simply making our lives very simple. We can see it, or at least many of us can detect it in intelligent devices like intelligent assistants. We are using it at our homes, in the buildings. It can control different things. We can, of course, having it in our cars, because without these technical developments, we would not have these intelligent vehicles, which we have mostly, or we see more and more on our roads. So such a huge game changer, of course, must be somehow. This is something which can't go and develop without any support or even notice of the governments. Yeah, and there are a lot of economies or big not only companies, big tech companies, but the states, the governments are willing to take the benefits and increase the competitiveness due to better implementation of the AI. Here you can see the national strategy of United States, of the White House, which is related to the artificial intelligence. This was published somewhere in 2016, and as you can see, Americans are always very pragmatic, very precise. So each area is elaborated into details, and these are the areas which they wanted their economy to focus on. And I think many of those areas are already covered by AI, many AI solution or devices. Of course, European Union, this is another big economy. They decided to create their own type of strategy. As we know, European Union, we are more complicated. We want to do it from different angle. We are maybe not that specific. We want to create a big material. So this is taken from the material called Coordinated Plan on Artificial Intelligence. And you see there is a lot of action plans and ideas how to make EU strong with artificial intelligence. Of course, we are good at regulations as well. European Union is definitely leading this field, and of course, let's not forget China. If we should just put on the map the biggest players in artificial intelligence, China, in my opinion, is at the moment leading this game, just following by United States and then by European Union. Of course, this can change in the future, but these big economies, also the others, of course, are heavily investing into this area. And of course, if everyone is investing and everyone's interested, why wouldn't we be interested? So I think it's totally clear that Accenture was and is around when these new technologies, new phenomena are appearing, and we are helping a lot of tens and hundreds of companies over the world, organizations, just to cover their processes or to increase their competitiveness in many areas. I don't want to name them all. You can see some examples. We developed our own tools. We developed our own software packages, which are really utilizing the best out of artificial intelligence. And just to give you a few examples, here we helped the European Land Registry just to identify the changes in the land records. So it's not necessary to do it anymore manually. It's something which can be done with the help of the drones, which can do it from really very quickly, and it's very efficient. So any changes or even any any changes which were not allowed, these are captured here, and it's possible just to follow up. The other very interesting use case was the or is our system for utility companies, where we helped utility companies in the US or in Europe just to monitor their assets. We again, with help of the drones, we were able to apply very sophisticated computer vision models, which are able to detect different types of assets of the utility companies, and just to see whether these assets are still in place, whether they are okay, whether they are not, so to detect any anomalies or issues with them. And what I really like, the use case with it, combining with another very, very powerful AI, which is Google Maps. We were able to combine those two platforms, and our artificial intelligence is simply reading or exploring the Google Maps or Street Views and looking for these assets and doing the inventory of the assets using Google Maps and the Street View. So that's incredible artificial intelligence on one side, communicated with artificial intelligence on the other side, all by different vendors, and it works. And this is how the world will look like, and already looks like now. So we were able to cover what is the current status of artificial intelligence in our lives and how it impacting us so far. But where is it taking us? Where is it really taking us in the future? We are maybe like this little kid, which just thinks about what is up there, what is out there. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it going to be bright future? Is it going to be something maybe not that bright, a bit dark? Yeah, the devil is in details, as we say. And I want to show you one video which can show you one side of artificial intelligence.
Customer pilots directed almost 3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger. Your kids probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Just like any mobile device these days, it has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that?
So did you see that? Got scared a bit? We've got a saying, it's better to get scared than to be afraid. Yeah, that in other words, that means that it's what scares us, we need to mitigate the risk very soon. We need to fight it and not to get paralyzed and be afraid forever. So that's the reason why we need to be aware of such things. By the way, this is purely science fiction video. This was prepared by one initiative fighting the autonomous weapons. So it's not realistic, but we can see the motions, especially in the military, that these type of devices can be developed, can be trained, and will be potentially very very dangerous. So we need to mitigate the risk, and we need to know what risk and what are the mitigation steps. So let's go first to understanding really where we are at the moment with the status. What is the status of artificial intelligence at the moment? Whether we need to take so seriously these type of videos, or we need to step back and to a bit relax and to say, okay, we are not there yet. So artificial intelligence as a simulation of human intelligent processes by machines, especially computer systems, is something which is in development, in a huge development, very fast development. If we just compare where we are comparing to the humans, then we can compare it with our 5 senses, right? And we can see this is what is some assessment of where we are at the moment with these senses. So regarding sight, vision, we are very far. Yeah, our artificial intelligence devices or systems can really detect the things, detect the objects, are quite powerful. So here we are pretty far. In hearing, the same. We are able to process the voices, the sounds. We are able to understand the voices, understand the language. So we are pretty far. We are not there yet. We are not as good as humans. The smell, adapt. So yeah, this is very, very hard, and I think no one is going there too far. The taste, even worse. That's quite hard for artificial intelligence to process. The touch, yeah, we have robots, a lot of very precise robots which can do very, very, very sensitive things. So I think in touch we are as far as in sight and hearing. So we can cover like three senses here. And what about the other more comprehensive or more complex features of human, like learning? Yeah, in learning we are pretty far. Our systems can learn quite well. We have different approaches to learning, supervised, unsupervised, and many other small subtypes. Then in understanding, our systems can quite fairly understand us. We are not there yet, but it's not that bad. In reasoning, we are not that far. Yeah, we are, the AI at the moment is not able to do that. Emotion, the same. The eye can read emotions, but it's very hard for it to mimic the emotions of the people. Maybe you know the robot which was introduced, the Sophia robot, humanoid robot, which even was granted the citizenship in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it can mimic the emotions, but it's very rare, and it's something which is at the very beginning. So that's why I put here this small portion. Memory, it depends what we mean with memory. Of course, the artificial intelligence can memorize a lot of things, but it's not like human memories. So it's a bit different. Autocorrection, again, robots with a specific type of learning, they can do a lot of autocorrections. Self-consciousness, not at all. We are not there yet. So if we see, we should not be afraid. Yeah, we can be a bit scared, but not to be permanently afraid. But we need to look into the future. This area, the artificial intelligence, as I mentioned, is now under the focus of governments, of economic groups of big tech companies, and they are doing a huge progress. And I want to show you another type of classification of the artificial intelligence. And here we can compare where we stand at the moment and what we should really what should be really scared of and prepare for and mitigate it, as I mentioned. So first, this is coming from the book from Josh Hall, Beyond AI, and this is somehow classifying the artificial intelligence in two ways. First, I will start with the easier one. Yeah, it's either parahuman or allohuman. The parahuman, it's human-like. Yeah, it's like humanoid robots, something which is similar or like a human. It looks similar. The allohuman, there are many AI systems which are allohuman. They do not need to look like these bugs here or spiders. They can be simply neural networks which you have in your mobiles, in the smartphones. It can be whatever bots which are doing the cyber attacks, or even those small ones which we want to implement in medicals. It can be anything untangible or something tangible. It can be some bug maybe which is working somewhere on Mars or in some dangerous environment. So this was one way of dividing it. It's this one. But let's talk about the evolution of artificial intelligence. Yeah. So how far it goes compared with human. Yeah, well, let's start with the hypohuman. This is artificial intelligence, which we can also, with the corporate slang, call like underachiever, someone who is below possibilities or capabilities of the real human. So this is typically what we call now in the narrow AI. Yeah, it's specific in one area. It's good in one area, like vision and NLP. These are like translators or recommenders. This is normally most of the existing AI systems or devices are now in this phase of hyperhuman. So narrow AI, very good at solving one type of problem, but not comparable with human at all. And of course, it can exceed human capabilities in that area, no doubt. Then we have diahuman. As you see, we are still in quite low risk for people, for humans, because this diahuman is the artificial intelligence which can be compared. It's similar. It can achieve in some areas, maybe it can surpass humans. In other areas, it's not that good. And in complex evaluation, it's maybe somewhere below, somewhere slightly above a human, but it's comparable. And this is the artificial intelligence which we are aiming for at the moment. It's so-called general artificial intelligence. We want to achieve the status that artificial intelligence will be comparable with humans. It can do all these things I was mentioning in the previous slide. And this diahuman should not pose that big risk for us, because this is still an intelligence which we can control, which works alongside with us, and it's not that much better than we are. It's simply comparable. So it can be really used for the things where we don't want to do it, some boring types of work, or simply replace specific types of jobs, or expand, enhance our like have assistance from the artificial intelligence. So this is the diahuman, and as I said, still appropriate or acceptable risk. If we are going further, if we solve this problem of diahuman, then we will be able to we are at the moment somewhere maybe 25% of the capability of the human. So we still have a lot of things to do here. But if we cross this line, we are crossing one very, very dangerous line, because then we are going to this epihuman, which is much, or should be something much more intelligent than the human is, and it's able to do, like here, something what 1,000 of smartest people could do, or do something which one person can do in 1,000 shorter time. So it should be something really very intelligent, like many brightest persons in the world. And this type of intelligence will be quite hard to manage or to control, or we need to find a way how to control it, because it would be able to fulfill all the criteria on general intelligence, and it will be able to improve itself. And if it's improving itself, it can improve unlimitedly. Yeah, it is limitless. So it can even go further to the hyperhuman. So this was some overachiever, right? But this is superachiever. This is God's level. Yeah, when the intelligence is developed mainly by itself to the level when it is 1,000 times better than this epihuman. So it's super intelligent. Super intelligence. It's godlike intelligence, and this is really a huge risk, because if we will have problems to control this, then control this would be almost impossible. So we, at the moment, it's on the paper, yeah. But we are in this phase, and we need to think about it even now, even today. What will happen if we cross that line, and we will be able to fulfill this phase and start proceeding with that phase. And the development is really very fast here. So let me now summarize all the potential threats which can come. And before I really switch to more optimistic view, I really wanted to somehow to focus us on what are the things we need to start thinking about until it's too late. So it's the right time to start it now. In security, we can be feared by autonomous weapons. Yeah, it was a video about the sophisticated cyber attacks on critical infrastructure. It's already starting to happen, but it can be even worse if the means or the intelligence will be improved. It could be attacks to personal identity or even health systems, because we are using artificial intelligence healthcare, and will be using more. If someone attacks it, it can destroy people just by this cyber attack. The social evolution or social threats, it's of course we know it, and it's happening already. Dramatic human work reduction or replacement. This is something which many sociologists or economists are dealing with, so we don't need to. Here is one interesting thing: is increasing social gaps, because the new roles will require much more sophisticated skills. So it's not that easy to replace someone who was made redundant and to tell, okay, now from now on you will be the creator of the virtual spaces or whatever, designer. It's not that easy just to switch a person. But these new technologies will not be available to anyone. Yeah, that they may be unavailable to many people. And on the other hand, that's another threat, that they will be used and misused by their sole owners. So now we are talking about tech companies or some super rich persons which will be able to simply to use it for their own good or for their own benefits. And combining with human engineering, which is also something we will not avoid, the AI improved humans with superpowers. It can be a really very critical combination, and we need to think about it. We need to do something about it. And I want to tell you one thing, which is already Elon Musk founded a company because he is aware of this threat of human engineering and these superpowers, which can be misused. He founded a company called Neuralink, which is creating or working on creation of the brain-machine interface. they are working on brain-machine interface project where they are working on the chips which will communicate with our cortex, part of our brains, and will be able to provide or democratize the AI for masses. Yeah, we can call it like this. This is it looks like science fiction, but it's already in progress. It's something which is happening, and they are having some first results out of this exercise. And maybe this will be the way how to mitigate the risk that 1, 2, or 10, or maybe 100 super rich persons will be able to use these powers, because then we all will be able to use these powers once this is possible, and once we can connect to these specific AI systems and be able to simply to utilize them. Yeah, maybe it looks very science fiction ish, but it's not. It's something which is already happening. Then the political threats. I'm sure you know the public surveillance problems. Too many cameras on the street, too many cameras everywhere, which can lead to social control. There are already countries which are utilizing it to control their citizens, control their minorities. They control specific groups of citizens. It's very bad because it can be misused. Again, it's about misuse by governments or political groups. Public opinion influencing, that's happening. We know about it. Increasing this is an interesting one. Big companies possessing all this knowledge can progress much faster than the smaller companies, which are not possessing that knowledge. And this may be creating a huge gap, even worse than the other gaps we had in division of the world, technology leaders versus the others. Yeah, also language barriers can be a problem, because we see now a lot of AI is able to process 2, 3, 4 main languages. So what about nations which do not speak those languages? That means that maybe there will be a shift, or we'll see how this happens. But that's also the way how I see the gap increasing between, for example, English-speaking countries versus non-English-speaking countries, and utilization of AI in the daily life, and of course, increasing global influence and power of tech giants. These were all threats. I don't want anymore to talk about bad things. I would like to switch to the good things, because AI is a very powerful technology which really takes us to totally different world. And what can it bring to us? Where we can benefit from it? Prevention of crime, terrorist attacks. We're already doing it. Data-driven crime investigation, the automated convictions. Even there are already systems, I heard about them in the UK or other countries, where they are able to immediately evaluate who was the one who caused the accident on a crossroad or something like that. So the judgmental systems can be influenced by this. Autonomous AI machines, we can see it everywhere, almost, from those which are working in the hazardous environments, fully autonomous vehicles, robots, humanoid robots, nanobots for medical, a lot of examples, you name it. Yeah, personal advisors. I think this will be a next stage for personal assistants we see at the moment. So personal advisors will be the AI systems which we trust so much that we just let it do the things for us. Someone mentioned the example of the map systems, for example, where we are so relying on them that we just leave it to them, and even if we wanted to go left, when they are saying right, we go right. So these personal advisors will be even more influential to our lives. We need to be careful, yeah, if they will not overtake our life, our decision, day-by-day decisions.
Allan,
Improvements in healthcare. Yes.
Sorry for the interruption. Not to be rude, but we're almost
running around.
20 minutes over time. So if you, I don't know how much you present still, but if you could like wrap that up in 1 minute, that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. So I don't think I need to name all these things. You can Google them. You probably already know about them. But this is a huge change for us. These are the opportunities, and I really couldn't resist just to put my own 3 prognoses, which will happen in next almost 25 years, where our life will be completely changed by AI. One is healthcare. I think the healthcare will be much more AI driven. We will be utilizing the AI-based systems for the medical self-examination and diagnosing, which will be amazing because we will have access to the brains of the best people, best medics or surgeons or experts from the overall world. So, and AI control medical treatment. So AI will be really helping people to dose their pills or even some ingestion and so on. So this will be healthcare, which will be completely transformed. The personal transportation will be transformed as well, in my opinion. The on-demand, so forget your company cars, forget your private cars. You will have on-demand autonomous vehicles, which will come when you need them, which will go when you don't need them, and you will simply, based on your wallet, you will order the car you can afford and you think is appropriate for the occasion. The prognosis number 3 is education. I think the remote education will become a standard. Online education will become more and more ubiquitous, and decentralized, fast evolving digital content will really change the way how we can consume, or students can consume the information and learn themselves. And teachers will transform more into advisors, progress advisors, and education advisors. So it will be, again, a big change, a big opportunity for creating better future for us. And if you are interested about sources, I do that information from. Here are 3 of them. I use much more sources than those, but these are at least few of them. So you can enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for attention, and I hope it was interesting for you.
All right. Thank you, Allan Weber. Thank you for closing off day 3 of OpenSlava. Really interesting to see also that you were in the threads, so like, oh no, they're going to take it over. And then you came with the opportunities. And it seems, I'm very curious to see if we have that super godlike robot one day. And we'll think back to OpenSlava 2021 and say, Allan warned us that the super robot humans are coming. Thank you so much. Also for attending, to all the audiences watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on the VSF platform, if you're walking around in 3D, if you did the badges hunt, if you made the AI mood cocktail, if you went for the Nintendo Switch with the badges, and if you go to openslava.sk, let us know, like I told you, to improve, like what did you like, what didn't you like, what you want to see more, and then we can use that for the 2022 OpenSlava. And you can win an Apple Watch SE if you enter the survey, so you will get rewarded for giving us your feedback and honest opinion. And in the meantime, in the backstage, I don't know if you already see it on the platform or in the live stream, you see a whole team trying to squeeze themselves into the box on camera. If you see them right now, you are looking at the backstage crew. They're waving. Every time I look down on my screen monitor here, I'm talking to the backstage crew, giving me pointers on what's going on, what is live, how people are reacting. And these are the people making it all happen. I'm just the tool in an orange shirt talking it all together, but these are the people actually making it happen. So yes, thank you. Never underestimate the power of all the people who have been working on OpenSlava and making this another great virtual event. Thank you so much to the whole OpenSlava team for having me, for having this conference for the 9th time. So next year will be the 10th anniversary with fireworks and the whole things they promised me. So I hope you enjoyed it. It went fast, 3 afternoons, evenings. I hope you learned a lot about business moving forward, being the leader, driving the change, the innovation. We talked about tech, we did deep dives in coding. I learned more stuff about Kubernetes. And today we looked, like with Allan at the last part, looked at AI, the future with Mary, and how we can walk through hell in the beginning of this day and make it all look very beautiful using the Unreal Engine. Summing it all up, I hope to see you all for OpenSlava 2022. I wish you a rest of the continuous year. I hope you have great holidays. I know it's still a while, but I'm already in the Christmas spirit. So I hope you enjoy yourself. Let us know what you think on OpenSlava.sk. Win the Apple Watch. For the people that will win the Nintendo Switch with the badges, congratulations. Also to the people yesterday with the JetBrain licenses. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You were all amazing. I was Marnik Vandenbroek and hope to see you in the near future. Bye-bye.